Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Chimera Elite, and today we're taking a look at the Valkyries of the Lion. The Tier 1 Devotee of Azel comes in at 44 AP and has the normal 4 movement for human soldiers. She is a Zealot with a magic power of 2, meaning that she has a Faith Zone of 4 hexagons, and she regains 1 Faith point for every friendly unit within her Faith Zone with a max of 4. Now, her stats are actually okay. They're not fantastic, but they're pretty good. She has pretty good accuracy and parry. Her dodge is a little bit lacking, as is her damage. She's decently tough, but has a fantastic will. Now, the Devotee of Azel is more of a support rather than a frontliner. So, her 2 abilities are really all that's special about her. Luminous Remission costs 1. It's pretty easy to cast, and it has a range of 4 hexes, the same as her Faith range. And she can target an ally and give them Regeneration 1 for 3 turns. So, theoretically, this could actually get pretty insane. If you have the right number of troops around her, she could just cast regen on every unit in your army by the time she's done. Now, her other ability is called Favorable Auspices, and it costs 2. It's a little bit harder to cast, but still decently easy, and it actually has a range double of Luminous Remission. It has a range of 6, and it's actually really good. The target ally unit gains the Favorable Auspices alteration, and you get Fuss plus 8 accuracy for your next attack roll, or plus 40% bonus for your next difficulty roll on a spell or miracle. You can re-roll the result if you fail it. And regardless of whether you have Bad Omen or not, it replaces it. And it's absolutely fantastic. She doesn't have any attributes other than Orthodox and Bravery. Bravery, again, resistance to fear effects, and Orthodox is really already talked about in how she gains faith. There are 2 types of faith-based units. Those that are Orthodox and those that are not. Those that are not, I forget their name, but they are interesting in that they actually need to be near to the front line, because they gain faith based on the number of enemy units that are within their faith range. So it's a really interesting concept to finagle around with. Yeah, she costs the usual price, and she's actually pretty decent. Now, the Tier 2 Valkyrie Warrior is my personal favorite. She costs 52 AP and has the same movement, but unfortunately her third Turgic power is only 1, so she's devout. So instead of having a Faith Zone of 4 hexagons, she only has a Faith Zone of 3. She recovers 1 Faith point for every unit in her Faith radius with a max of 3. But really, 3 is all she needs. She has an accuracy of 12, parry of 14, dodge 9, damage 8, toughness 9, will 11. She is actually pretty well endowed in stats. Good accuracy, good parry, decent damage, and her toughness is actually pretty good too. But what's really awesome about her are her ability and her attribute. She has Martial Inspiration. Now, what Martial Inspiration does, it costs 3. She can only cast it on herself. It's pretty easy to cast, and for 3 turns, she gets a plus 3 damage bonus, and she also gains Ambidextrous. Now, I'll get to Ambidextrous in a minute, but that plus 3 damage bonus buffs her damage up to 11, which is actually pretty damn good. Now, she has counterattack. Now, the unit adopts a counterattack stance, and you suffer a -2 parry penalty, but you also riposte to each strike, that you parry in melee combat. So you riposte twice to the first attack, if it's parried. Now, what ambidextrous does is it takes away that -2 parry penalty. So she has ambidextrous, so she can retaliate up to 3 times, which is absolutely insane. 4 times if you're up against Wolfen and they just used an offensive stance and missed every single one of them, with a parry of 14. A parry of 14 is huge. It's fantastic. And on top of that, ignoring her 2 other attributes, Orthodox and Bravery, which I already talked about, she has the attribute Parry. If a melee attack aimed at this unit is successful, the attacker must make the attack again. It can only occur once per activation, so you can really only do that for 1 attack. But still, Martial Inspiration combined with Counter-Strike, combined with Parry, combined with the fact that she has a freaking 14 parry, makes her tough, very, very capable in dealing damage, and just all around a really, really good unit for 52 AP. Now, the tier 3 is very interesting, and this is the Chosen of Azel. She costs 70 AP, same movement. She actually has the same theurgic power of 2, so 4 hexes for her faith zone and 1 faith point for every friendly unit in her faith zone. And her stats are far more leaning towards, well, offense, like many of the tier 3s I've seen. Her accuracy is pretty good. Her parry is somewhat lacking at 10. She has the same dodge, a damage of 10, which is actually pretty damn good. She's somewhat frail, though, with a toughness of 7 and a will of 13. Now, what's really just crazy about her are her 2 abilities. Now, I'll get to those in a second, but before we do that, let's just quickly hop over to her attributes. She has the same Orthodox and Bravery that I've always talked about. But what she also has is Fanaticism, which means that if she fails a fear test, she can retry it. And she also gains a +1 damage bonus against all enemies belonging to the ways of darkness or destiny. So she gets a +1 damage bonus essentially against everyone except Other Lion. She also has Master Fencer. So if she misses an attack, she can re-roll it. Now it can only happen once per activation, but still insane. Coupled with her damage, the amount of damage she can pour out, even on a somewhat tough enemy, is huge. Now, I'm just going to quickly gloss over her second ability, which is called Martial Inspiration. Sound familiar? Same thing that the tier 2 has. 3 turns, +3 damage, counterattack, and ambidextrous. She does not have counterattack, so she doesn't get ambidextrous. Not really that big of a deal, considering she's just pure offense. So she'd be hitting for 14s against darkness or destiny enemies. Now, her final ability is Incarnation of Justice. Incarnation of Justice costs 3. You can only use it once per match. It's personal, and it's a little bit difficult to actually cast. Now, what happens is you transform into an Incarnation of Justice. Now, in-game, there's actually no visual representation of this, but, you know, beta's beta. I'll let this one slide. I really want to see something cool for this one, though. And what happens is, when you turn into the Incarnation of Justice, you cannot recover faith or cast any more miracles. So you might want to, you know, maybe cast Martial Inspiration before you go in. Just a thought. But here's the thing. Every attack made against an opponent, regardless of who it is, automatically causes the target opponent to lose 15 health. Each successful attack against you, however, causes you to lose 10 health. So it's a little bit of a trade-off if you're up against a lot of weak enemies. And that's really it. But it's still, and I hit my mic, sorry. It's really interesting because against some undead enemies, aka Melmoth or Kerbos, against those guys who are extremely tough, tossing in a Chosen of Azel gives you the ability to actually, like, you could kill Melmoth in 2 turns, maybe 1 turn with her. Pop Incarnation of Justice, run in, slap him twice, he's down to 10 HP. If it's like turn 2, he might not have an elixir point, so he doesn't have agony. So either she can hit him again, killing him, or someone else can finish him off. Either way, the Incarnation of Justice is a really interesting move, and I kind of hope that more people try it out in the future. Although, right now, it might be just better to stick with the tier 2 if you're going for more damage in your army. Oh, and before I forget, this is actually the video that I was talking about in the previous in-depth. This is the one where I was talking about where the guy is lacking damage despite having Melmoth, and how Astral improved on it. So yeah, just a little heads up of what's going on. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Next time, we're looking at the last of the line units, the Sparkling. Hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you around. Peace.